Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating essay called Odysseus 3.0. We're going to look at how we absolutely need to rethink our professional survival in this era of crazy fast technological leaps. If you've ever felt like the ground is shifting right under your career or your area of expertise, well, you'll want to pay close attention to the structural shifts we're breaking down today. All right, let's jump right in.
So ask yourself this: what happens when that mountain of experience you built up, your absolute biggest advantage, suddenly hits an expiration date? For our entire lives, we've been told to build a specific edge, right? Accumulate hard-earned experience and lean on past successes. But what happens when the exact same skills that made it completely irreplaceable yesterday become the literal reason you're left behind tomorrow?
Part 1. The End of the Specialist. For centuries, our go-to strategy, our religion really, was extreme specialization. The mantra was always, find your passion, master a craft, become the undisputed expert. And hey, it worked beautifully. Experience was capital. But today, artificial intelligence isn't just automating mundane tasks, it's actively accelerating obsolescence. Even if your specific profession doesn't magically disappear, the highly specialized skills that made you exceptional are rapidly losing their differentiating value. The expiration date for a static skill set? It's already here.
To put that into perspective, let's look at how the threat to human labor has actually evolved. It's pretty dramatic. During the Industrial Revolution, machines replaced our muscles. Then, in the 20th century, computers stepped in to replace our administrative and routine tasks. But look at where we are today. Machines are now replacing fragments of human knowledge itself. They can write, code, translate, and synthesize. We simply can't win a pure accumulation race against a machine explicitly designed to gather and process information instantly.
Part 2. The Odysseus model. So, if extreme specialization is failing us, what's the alternative? Ironically, to find our future strategy, we actually need to go back about 3,000 years. Homer used a crucial Greek word to describe his legendary hero Odysseus, Polytropos. It essentially means the person of many turns. The concept of the Polytropos man navigating changes against modern AI is all about this capacity to change your path, your strategy, your language, and even your form according to the circumstances, without losing your core identity. You see, Odysseus survived monsters, gods, and wars because he understood a fundamental truth we've kind of forgotten. The world has absolutely no obligation to stay the same, just so our current identity can keep functioning. There's a radical contrast in mindset here. The specialist looks inward and asks, how can I optimize this existing path, even if that path is dying? But the Polytropos looks out at the horizon. True future-proofing isn't about cramming more competencies into a vulnerable field. It's about building a deep capacity for transition. It's knowing how to step into totally unknown territory without needing to be an expert on day one. You observe, you experiment, you fail, and you adapt. Part 3. 3 strategies for survival. Okay, so how do we actually adopt this strategy of mental adaptation? The essay lays out 3 core tactics. Step 1 is definitely the most painful, knowing how to abandon obsolete advantages quickly the second they stop working. Step 2 is about becoming a bridge. The future doesn't just need people with isolated skills, it needs people who can transport knowledge across completely isolated disciplines. Think of an economist who deeply understands psychology or an investor who knows history. And step 3 is absolutely crucial. Build deep criteria instead of just collecting superficial novelties. You've got to learn to play the game while the rules of the game are actively changing. Listen to this warning. This has always worked. That is literally one of the most dangerous phrases an intelligent person can pronounce. When dealing with systemic shifts, past success is actually just a really sophisticated form of rigidity. It rewards you for doing something well and then tricks you into doing it right up until you hit a brick wall. To be a modern Polytropos, you can never fall in love with just one strategy.
Part 4. The challenge of AI.
Now, we just established that crossing disciplines and synthesizing knowledge makes us adaptable. But here's the terrifying reality. Artificial intelligence is also highly adaptable. These are the real human challenges against AI. Can a human cross disciplines? Yes, through years of study. AI does it in seconds. Can we synthesize knowledge? Sure, over time. AI does it instantly. Our ultimate advantage can't just be doing more things or learning faster anymore, because the machine's capacity for functional adaptability already matches or beats ours. Part 5. The New Identity Crisis. And this brings us straight into a philosophical and existential analysis. What happens to the human psyche when everything is in constant flux? Why our identity changes so drastically is a real concern, because there is a dark side to becoming infinitely adaptable. If we just abandon our convictions every day and constantly shift to fit the environment, we start to disappear. As the text warns, adaptability does not mean opportunism. Being flexible doesn't mean having no spine. A chameleon is perfectly adaptable, right? But so is a mercenary. If we change completely with the wind, our existence just becomes empty. Right here is the difference between true survival and a modern trap. The true Polytropos, like Odysseus, has depth. Their adaptability stems from a deep experience of the human condition: fear, power, war, longing. Contrast that with the caricature of the Polytropos. This is the person compulsively consuming every new online course, downloading every new AI tool, and adapting superficial new identities constantly. They know a little about everything, but they don't understand anything deeply. They just turn into completely replaceable cogs.
Our culture's constant mandate to learn, unlearn, optimize, and reinvent yourself, it might actually be the ultimate trap. It masquerades as freedom, the freedom to be anything, but it risks becoming perfect servitude. If we become perfectly adaptable, we risk becoming exactly what a relentless economic system wants: infinitely reconfigurable people with no permanent anchor.
Part 6. The Return to Ithaca. So, how to manage constant changes today without losing your soul? The true art of surviving this era isn't just learning how to change. We're all going to be forced to change. The real challenge and how to teach mental flexibility today is possessing profound wisdom. It's knowing exactly what deserves to change and what must remain. It's knowing when to smoothly adapt to new software and when to introduce human friction to defend a core principle. This is exactly why Odysseus symbolizes freedom. He mastered the art of the mask. He could transform into a warrior, a disguised beggar, a storyteller, a king, or even claim his name was nobody to survive the Cyclops. He underwent 1,000 necessary transformations to survive a hostile world. But the secret to his survival wasn't the change itself, it was the return. After every transformation, he always navigated back to Ithaca. He never lost his center. These are the true strategies to navigate uncertainty. As we face an uncertain future driven by AI and rapid obsolescence, we know for sure we're going to have to adapt. We know we'll have to wear new masks. But looking at your own career and your own life, I'll leave you with this final thought. If it becomes increasingly important to transform into someone different, how will you know which part of yourself you must never, ever change? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and find your own Ithaca.